The two worlds that divides us has been present ever since we were born. We oftentimes are ignorant of its existence, but sure enough, these worlds take control of our words and actions without even noticing. The first set of rules for the first world is instilled in our homes, with our families, and all the mystical and superstitious things that come with the Mexican household. When I was younger, I remember my mother mentioning what would happen to kids that would disobey their parents. It usually involved being taken by either a mystical sized owl, La Lechuza, or by the ghost of a disgruntled mother, La Llorona. This was often the only necessary action needed for me to calm down and start listening to them. Aside from the scare tactic that these stories were used for, it also showed and represented the deep and long traditions that came with being part of a Mexican home. Another important aspect of this world was the main reliance on language as a bonding instrument. Growing up, I always addressed my parents in Spanish, not only because it was their mother tongue, but also because it seemed disrespectful for me to talk to them in English, since they were my first language teachers as an infant. The bond that connected everybody that stepped into the house always seemed to lead back to Spanish language that was often used. Now, the second world is a little more complicated than the first. The familiarity and reliability of the first world can sometimes feel like it's missing from this world. Although this world knowledge and information is highly valued, there is often times where it seems to be too much of a systematic operation, where the masses are just put through the grinder or school and molded a certain way. Ever since I started school, I always seemed to be corrected. From the language I spoke to the certain ways I behaved myself. The school system I saw was that of a corrective institution for me, and the material that was taught there always seemed to contradict what I was used to at home, or at least what I had observed growing up. This English-driven world oftentimes made me question many aspects of my inner self. Even though there was a conflict between these two worlds, I came to understand the importance of both worlds in finding out who I was. In me, these two worlds reside, and the conflicts that arise from them are the mixture of ideas that make me a dual citizen, where I can enter either world without completely leaving the other.